Hello. My name is Laura. I'm going to talk to you about the mythology of the zodiac signs.
Hello. My name is Laura and I'm going to talk about mythology too.
In Greek mythology, the myth of the Minotaur is linked to King Minos of Crete. According to the legend, Minos defied Poseidon, the god of the sea, by not sacrificing a bull sent to him. In retaliation, Poseidon caused Minos's wife, Pasiphae, to fall in love with the divine white bull. From this union, the Minotaur was born, a creature half man and half bull. As punishment, the Minotaur was confined in the labyrinth, constructed by the ingenious architect Daedalus. Every year, 7 young Athenian men and 7 maidens were sent as tribute to Crete to be sacrificed to the Minotaur, until Theseus, the Athenian hero, decided to confront the beast with the help of Ariadne's thread, the daughter of Minos. The Gemini myth in Greek mythology is related to the twins Castor and Pollux, sons of Leda and brothers of Helen. The uniqueness of Gemini lies in the fact that Castor was mortal, while Pollux was immortal, being born to different fathers. Castor was the son of Tyndareus, the king of Sparta, and Pollux was the son of Zeus. Together, they engaged in various feats and adventures, notably participating in the Argonauts expedition. Tragically, Castor died in combat, and Pollux, grieving the loss of his brother, pleaded with Zeus to share his immortality with Castor. As a result, they were granted alternating eternity between Olympus and Hades, spending half their time in each realm, symbolizing the duality of Gemini. This myth reflects the special connection between twin brothers and the concept of balance between the mortal and immortal. The Cancer myth in Greek mythology is associated with the crab sent by the goddess Hera to attack Hercules during one of his 12 labors. While Hercules was battling the Lernaean Hydra, Hera, Hercules' enemy, sent the crab to distract him. Although the crab was no match for Hercules' strength, he crushed it with his foot. In recognition of the crab's effort, Hera immortalized it by placing it in the sky as the constellation Cancer. Thus, the Cancer myth symbolizes celestial sacrifice and reward, highlighting the duality of nature, where even adversaries can be honored in the immortality of the heavens. The myth of Leo in Greek mythology is linked to the formidable Nemean lion, an invulnerable beast whose skin could not be pierced by conventional weapons. As part of Hercules' labors, this hero attempted to defeat the lion but encountered the challenge of its impenetrable fur. Cleverly, Hercules strangled the lion and successfully overcame it. In honor of this feat, Zeus placed the Nemean lion among the constellations, thus creating the image of the Leo constellation. This myth highlights the cunning and bravery of Hercules, emphasizing the notion that seemingly invincible challenges can be overcome with wit and determination.
The myth of Ares in Greek mythology is associated with the golden fleece and the winged ram. Phrixus and his sister Helle were sent by their wicked stepmother Ino to sacrifice the winged ram to avert famine. During the journey, Helle fell into the sea and perished, but Phrixus reached Colchis, where he sacrificed the ram and presented the golden fleece to the king. The ram was then placed among the stars as the constellation Aries. This myth highlights the bravery of Phrixus and the connection between mythological events, such as the golden fleece, and the constellations found in the sky. In Greek mythology, Ystria is associated with the constellation Virgo. Ystria, the daughter of Themis and Zeus, was the goddess of justice and divine law. It is said that she lived among humans during the Golden Age, but witnessing the growing injustice on Earth, she gradually abandoned the mortal world and ascended to the sky to become the constellation Virgo. Ystria is linked to justice and purity, and her connection with the Virgo constellation symbolically reflects the concept of virginity, understood in antiquity as purity and innocence. This association also highlights the duality of Virgo as a mythological figure that combines elements of fertility and justice.
In Greek mythology, Libra does not have a specific myth, as the constellation of Libra was not originally included in the classical Greek zodiac. Libra was later added by the Romans to balance the zodiac. However, in some modern interpretations, Libra is associated with the goddess Themis, the personification of divine justice and cosmic order. According to some legends, Themis held the scales of justice, symbolizing fairness and balance. Although this association lacks a specific myth, it reflects the idea of balance and harmony attributed to the constellation of Libra in modern astrology. The myth of Scorpio in Greek mythology is related to the giant hunter Orion. According to the legend, Orion boasted of being able to hunt and kill all creatures on Earth. Gaia, the goddess of the Earth, sent a giant scorpion to put an end to his arrogance. Orion and the scorpion engaged in a fierce battle, and eventually, the scorpion managed to sting Orion in the heel, causing his death. In recognition of his service, Zeus placed both Orion and the scorpion in the sky as opposing constellations, so they would never meet again. This mythological tale explains the presence of the constellations Orion and Scorpio in the firmament and symbolizes the cyclical nature of life and death. The myth of Sagittarius in Greek mythology is connected to Chiron, a wise and skilled centaur in medicine and the arts. Chiron was different from other centaurs, as he did not share their wild nature and was often described as kind and just. The story goes that Chiron was accidentally wounded by a poison arrow from Hercules. Being immortal, Chiron could not die, but the poison caused him unbearable pain. Eventually, Chiron exchanged his immortality with Prometheus to be freed from his suffering. In recognition of his nobility and sacrifice, Zeus placed Chiron in the sky as the constellation Sagittarius, the centaur archer, symbolizing his duality between humanity and celestial nature. The mythological figure of Amalthea, the nymph or goat goddess, is connected to the constellation of Capricorn. According to some versions of the myth, Amalthea cared for the god Zeus when he was a baby, hiding him in a cave and nourishing him with the milk from her goat horn. In gratitude, Zeus rewarded Amalthea by transforming her horn into the horn of plenty or cornucopia, a symbol of fertility and prosperity. Although the narratives vary, Amalthea is often associated with the goat and the horn of plenty. The constellation of Capricorn, with its representation of a creature that is half goat and half fish, can also be considered as a tribute to the mythological figure of Amalthea and her role in Zeus's infancy. In Greek mythology, the constellation Aquarius is associated with the story of Ganymede, a young Trojan prince known for his exceptional beauty. Zeus, captivated by Ganymede, transformed him into an eagle and brought him to Olympus to serve as the cupbearer to the gods. The most well-known version of the myth recounts how Zeus fell in love with Ganymede while he was tending to his sheep. The god abducted him in the form of an eagle and carried him to the sky. In gratitude, Zeus placed Ganymede among the stars as the constellation Aquarius. This myth highlights the interaction between gods and mortals, as well as the practice of immortalizing beloved figures in the heavens. In Greek mythology, the constellation of Pisces is linked to the myth of Aphrodite and her son Eros. According to the legend, to escape the monster Typhon, Aphrodite and her son Eros transformed into fish and submerged themselves in the Euphrates. In gratitude for this act, the gods immortalized them both as fish and elevated them to the heavens as the constellation Pisces. This myth highlights the gods' ability to transform and the connection between love and divine protection. The Pisces constellation, composed of two fish joined by a cord, symbolizes the unity and strength of love even in challenging circumstances.